Okay, good afternoon everyone. Thanks for joining. We will operate in 3 sections today. So we'll go first with the broadcast section, then we'll move on to the Sunday newspapers, and then we'll finish with the dailies, which will be embargoed to Sunday night for Monday's print. We'll start with the broadcast section on Ian Bolton, Sky Sports News.
Right, hello there. Ian here.
Hi, Ian.
You good?
Good, thank you.
Good. Let's make a start then. I want to ask about your team news, effectively, I suppose. We've got the new signings. Is everyone fit? And of the players that you've been working with for a while, do you have any doubts and concerns?
Well, Hakim Ziyech took an injury to his knee against Brighton in the friendly game, so he won't be fit for Brighton. We're working on him. We hope it's a matter of weeks, hopefully a couple of weeks, but we'll have to see on that one a little bit. Ben Chilwell as well is working towards fitness. He won't be fit for Brighton and has developed and improved this week and going in the right direction, which is good news for us. Thiago Silva is now in London but not training with us until the weekend. So I doubt very much he'll be in contention for the Brighton game. Other than that, out of the new ones, I suppose you asked me about Ian, that's where we're at.
Yeah, and the rest of the squad? Anybody else?
No, we're pretty good. Billy Gilmore is obviously a longer term injury. He'll be out for a couple of months more, the operation that he had. Other than that, we're in decent shape.
Okay. Listen, 4th place last season in very difficult circumstances. What have you made of the club's investment this summer? How big a statement is it by the club, and what does that do in terms of increasing the pressure on you to do better than last season?
Well, I think the pressure on me to do better than last season should be standard, regardless of anything. That comes with the territory of this job. I don't want to talk about it as us making statements. I understand that it's the players that were brought in will obviously get a lot of talk about them, because when you make those sort of moves with the type of player we're talking about, it becomes a very good news story. But for me, it was more about, I think last year we were very happy to achieve the Champions League positions, as we did. We fought hard for that. We know we'd been on a transfer ban from the year before, and the fact that we are very joined up in what the business that we wanted to do to try and improve the team. I think we've done it hopefully in a good way, and we should be excited, but we should also have a slight word of caution that we need to work with the new players. And my job is to work with the new players to get them settled into the team and get the team working as well as possible. We want to move in an upwards direction, of course we do, and the work starts now. I mean, the work started recently. Unfortunately, it's been a broken pre-season for everyone, and when you're bringing in new players in that sort of pre-season, it's you have to work very hard, very quickly. We'll do that.
But with all the investment, are you expected to challenge for the title?
I'm not interested in other people can talk about whether we challenge or not. For me, we finished a lot of points behind Liverpool and Manchester City in the last 2 seasons, as has everybody else. That's the way that the league has gone. So we have to first look at closing the gap and build confidence by, as I say, getting the team working well together. I'm not jumping ahead and making any predictions on us.
Last one, please, Ian.
Look, you've made lots of signings in lots of areas around the pitch, up front, midfield, at the back. It's widely accepted that you're looking for a new goalkeeper. Rennes say they are in discussions with Chelsea over Edouard Mendy. Is that something close? Is that a situation you would like resolved sooner rather than later?
No, it's a situation I don't want to be drawn on in. It's something that Mendy is a player, Rennes player, and so it's a non-starter for me to talk about in a minute.
In terms of players going out, where is Michy Batshuayi with a loan move to Crystal Palace? We're hearing he's completed a medical. And Fikayo Tomori in discussions with Everton. Can you tell us anything on either of those two?
I think with Michy it's an ongoing situation and it's not clear yet or confirmed yet, so I won't say too much about that, but I think we're all aware that the conversation is happening. With Fikayo, no, I'm not aware of those conversations getting to any point where I'm going to be talking to you about them. Fikayo trained with us today. He's in contention for the Brighton game, and that's where we're at.
Okay, we'll go
Thanks.
to Moose Talksport.
Hi Frank, how are you?
Hi Moose, very good, thanks.
Just a little bit off the back of that, I mean, you might try and play down your expectations to be title challengers, but a lot of people have Chelsea in the conversation this year because of the signings you made, Werner, Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Ben Chilwell, etc.
Yeah, I understand that, and I hope that Chelsea fans are excited because I'm not going to lie, we've brought in what we feel are a high level of player that are going to improve our squad. At the same time, I also know what it takes to win Premier Leagues, and I know that as a player, and I know when I look around us, and when you look at the teams that have dominated in recent years, and particularly your eye draws towards Liverpool and Manchester City, they are a story that has run over a few years in their own paces at different times, but in terms of recruitment, in terms of coaching, in terms of improvement, I'm guessing on the training pitch that then relates to the pitch. So it's not a simple story that bringing players must win the league. That doesn't work that way. So we hope we will improve. I know expectations will be there. I won't hide away from those. My expectations this year are on a different level from last year because of the different situation. So we want to improve, but we won't jump too far ahead of ourselves.
You weren't really I don't think you were ever under any pressure last year because of the situation with the transfer market, and because obviously you are a legend at the club. But do you accept this time around maybe you are under a little bit more pressure because of the investment? And to that end, how much do you have to make a really good start at Brighton? Because we saw last year Liverpool won their first 17, 18 games, and by that stage you're right over the hill and far away.
I'm surprised if you feel that I was under no pressure last year. I think if you follow us around as closely as you do, and you follow the Chelsea job and the Chelsea manager, I don't think you can ever go through a season of no pressure, because no matter what the strange circumstances, I think expectations to deliver are always there, and the club is so big that there'll always be pressures. I thrive off those pressures and I enjoy them, and I understand the different nature of the pressure coming this year. It's what I love doing. I didn't come into this job to fight for fourth place, although last year we know that was an achievement and one of our goals that we set out and we got to. I didn't come here just to bring academy players into the team and say I've made debuts for this many players. No, I came here to try and win. So any club at our level, I suppose, has to try and tick the major boxes, and recruitment is a huge part of that. This year last year we weren't able to recruit in a big way. I wasn't able to bring in players that I felt would maybe help the way I want us to go, the style that maybe I wanted to play. And this year I have been able to have some impact on that, but more importantly the club has made decisions to bring in players. So it changes the landscape, yes. I'm excited by that as much as feeling the pressure, and we're ready to go, ready to work.
And regarding the importance of getting that win on the opening day, because as I say, Liverpool were almost home and host, or a long way clear of everybody else because of that style and role they've on from day one.
Yeah, of course it is, Moose. But in terms of one game, I don't think you can set it out that much. Of course we want to start well, but we have to respect Brighton and know the good team that they are. We're going away from home to their stadium. And we also, as I mentioned, have had a non-pre-season because most of our players have probably been joining either in the last few days or had a week before they went to international break, and we were playing Bayern Munich, I think 36 days ago when we kick off against Brighton. So that's been challenging for us, as it has been for a lot of clubs. I'm not making excuses. We need to be ready on Monday. We want to win the match.
Okay, we'll go to Nick Purewell, PA.
Hi Frank, thanks for your time. With Fikayo, obviously he impressed at the start of the season, had a period of time out of the team. Is there something specifically you want to see more from him in terms of pushing back in and getting back to his best? And just also on that generally, obviously, we saw Mason Mount's dad rubbish reports from Germany suggesting that Mason would be threatened by Kai Havertz's arrival. And I know you talked about it previously, but lightly before, but all of these young players will welcome the challenge of high-profile arrivals, won't they? And also the ability to learn from those experienced players.
Yeah, firstly on Fikayo, there's nothing specific that I want him to improve. All I want him to do is work hard, show the work ethic he showed me at Derby and for major parts of last season. And he knows, and I hope every player knows at that point, I'm fair in terms of how I try and pick the team. With 4 centre-backs last year, 2 will be unhappy pretty much every week. It's up to them to try and make that starting place their own, and those are just the rules at a club like Chelsea. In terms of them, I saw the story about Mason Mount. I know it was absolutely fabricated from somebody, particularly if it come from the German end. I'm not sure if he has any relatives out there or friends he would talk to, but it's a strange angle for that to come from Mason. And what I do know is with the young players that got into the team, and the way football is at a club like Chelsea is that if you're a young player that's got a foot in, and then a club brings in players around you that raise levels, or you hope they raise levels, the players should, and hopefully will, raise their levels, and everybody improves. And as I say, I will be fair when I pick the team, and I don't pick the team on whether you came through the academy or not. I pick the team on how I think it should be picked every week, on how they train and how we've been performing. So everybody should be positive going into the season, train and play as well as they can, and worry about the unity of the squad and the results we get as a team.
Okay, last two in this section, Stephen Douglas and Nizar, one each.
Hi Frank. Having seen Kai Havertz in training in the last few days, I just wondered what you think his ideal position would be, because he played in midfield and also at the end of last season played as a central striker, so I just wondered where you think his sort of best position would be this season.
Well, Kai, with his qualities, is flexible to play in different positions, so certainly I haven't changed my view after 2 or 3 days of training and seeing him. I think we can use the versatility. That one of the pluses when I spoke to Kai was that he's very comfortable. He's not saying I want to play in this position and this is all I want. He's actually very happy to come and help the team and can give us different qualities in different areas, so it's not one we have to nail down.
Okay, and last question to Nizar Kinsella in the broadcast.
Hi Frank, welcome back. I just wanted to talk about Pulisic and Azpilicueta. They were both injured at the end of last season, and you had quite a lot of injuries actually around the Bayern Munich game, so I just wanted to see those guys recovered kind of quicker than you expected, and are you happy to welcome them back to the new season?
Yeah, I'm certainly very happy to welcome them both back. And yes, I'm sorry I missed them at the beginning there, but they're both trained since yesterday. Was their first day fully training with the team, so they're in contention for Monday. You know, I have to be careful. I have a squad to pick from, but the way they're training and the attitude they've come back with looks like they are over those injuries at the time. I'll just have to make sure I manage them both back in their own ways.
Okay, that's the end of the broadcast section, so we will move on to the Sunday newspapers first of all, and we will start with Dan King from The Sun on Sunday. So cameras off please for the broadcast.